now Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado. He is also a Democratic presidential candidate. Good evening, Senator. Good to have you on. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Don. Thanks
Speaker
for having
Pelosi
me.
and Leader McConnell are going head-to-head, feuding over the terms of the Senate trial. Take a listen to them attacking one another, and then we'll talk.
Speaker Pelosi suggested that House Democrats may be too afraid to even transmit their shoddy work product to the Senate.
Our founders, and when they wrote the Constitution, they suspected that there could be a rogue president. I don't think they suspected that we could have a rogue president and a rogue leader in the Senate at the same time.
So, you're in the Senate, sir. Are you ready to see these articles of impeachment come your way?
Yeah, I think we should finish the job, or at least have a fair trial in the Senate. We need to be able to have witnesses and give evidence in front of the American people so they can make a judgment about what happened here. And my hope is that we'll work this out. These are two of the most strategic people in Washington.
So it matters not to you whether it's fair because, you know, Mitch McConnell has said, and you heard Lindsey Graham saying, listen, their mind's already made up. They're not impartial. They're partial. They're saying it's done. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi says she wants a fair trial. She wants to know what's going to happen before she sends the articles over. That doesn't matter to you?
No, I think it's pathetic. That's what I mean. I think we've got to have a fair trial, and she's trying to do what she can to try to get that fair trial. No, that matters a lot to me. McConnell has said that he's going to take his direction from the White House counsel and from the president's personal lawyers. That is not how this is supposed to work. The way this is supposed to work is we're supposed to be providing oversight, just as the House provided oversight, and we shouldn't be jumping to conclusions.
Well, the president has said that he wants a trial. He wants, you know, he thinks that he's going to be exonerated, right? So how does that impact these negotiations? He says, let's do it.
Well, it is very unlikely that he's going to be convicted. You need 2/3 to do it, and there's a Republican majority, and McConnell has already said that he thinks the president is going to be acquitted, and I think anybody betting against that would be making a bad mistake. I view this as an opportunity for us to try to reestablish what standard we want out of the President of the United States. You know, do we want somebody who's shaking down a foreign leader for his own political purposes? And, you know, Neil Katyal mentioned earlier the day that Donald Trump fired Comey and then told the Russians while he was in the White House that he was glad he got that off his back. You know, he's not being impeached for that offense, but I guarantee you, to Neil's point, that if Barack Obama had done something like that, he would have been impeached for that. So what I hope is that we are reasserting this standard, even if he's not convicted, of what we want out of a president. And that's, you know, why I think it's worth trying to get to a place where there is a fair trial, where we do have witnesses, where we do have documents coming over from the White House.
You weren't on the debate stage. That hurts, right?
That does hurt.
Okay, so listen, yeah. You're going to be a juror. You're going to be a juror, and for the impeachment, and so that means that you won't be out on the campaign trail. How does that impact your campaign? That's going to hurt too, won't it?
Well, I can't worry about that. I've got a job to do, and the other senators have a job to do, and if we have to be in Washington doing that job, that's where we should be. You know, I'm in New Hampshire tonight, Don. I've been in New Hampshire more than any other candidate for president this cycle, and in addition to that, I've committed to doing 50 additional town halls in New Hampshire. So I am putting one foot in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other, trying to build momentum up here. And if I have to be in Washington to do the trial, I'm going to be glad that I'd invested the time, and I will be continuing to do this right up until that happens.
The DNC's polling and fundraising thresholds have kept you from participating in the last several debates, including last night's. Did you think that the dynamic of the race changed much after last night's debate?
I don't think the dynamic of the race changed after last night's debate, just like I don't think it's changed after any of these debates. You know, the debates have not really helped Democrats, and in New Hampshire and in Iowa, this race is less consolidated today than it was 6 weeks ago or 6 months ago or a year ago, because people are trying to figure out who the best person is to beat Donald Trump. I obviously think that I am, because I've won 2 national elections in a swing state, and I've, wrote the public option in the Senate, wrote the immigration bill in 2013 that got 68 votes, and I'm making my case in these states. And I can tell you, these people have no idea who they're going to support yet. So it just makes no sense to me that the DNC would winnow the field. I'm not complaining about it, but I think they should have waited until voters started to decide. I mean, John Kerry, I think when he was running in '04, was at 3% today, and he went on to win the New Hampshire primary. That's what happens. It's more unusual that a leading candidate wins than that somebody comes out of the blue.
Michael Bennet, thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time, Don. If you want to help, go to michaelbennet.com. Thanks.
And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.